had it all planned out, or I thought I was going to write a book, but that wasn't how it happened. Do you know what I mean? And you know, I'm very, I mean, I have a very spiritual person, and that side of me reflects a lot in the book on becoming. So I feel like it was a message that I heard, that you have to do this. And then with the reception and acceptance and the movement, it's now even more confirmed that, you know, there is a backing, and I feel like it's more than, you know, you have to give the heavens above more than a glance in the past. So yeah,
that's great to know. Now,
what's her name again? I hope you done.
Yes, my jam.
Oh,
so let's get talking about the book On Becoming. Now, I was privy to a SWAT Talk where you were a headliner alongside my wife also. That's the first season of SWAT Talk, and you did give a little bit of insight about your past relationship. Now, let's talk about On Becoming. What really is the book all about, On Becoming?
It's a journey. On Becoming, it's a journey. I mean, I like to say that everyone you meet as you travel through life is traveling on a journey. You know, our rise, our fall, our victories, our failures, we are becoming. And when you think you have become, there's so much more to become. Do you know what I mean? So it's self-discovery, it's self-awareness, acceptance of where you are. It's basically sharing the stories that we go through as many women and men. But because of where we're coming from in our culture, and you know, in Africa, when you sort of are vulnerable, you're being seen as weak. And the truth of the matter is, there's so much strength in being vulnerable, in bearing it all, and letting people see that this life is not. I'm not perfect.
And you're not alone in that. And you're not alone in that journey.
Yeah, so you're trying to connect with people who are going through such things. I went through a very difficult time last year, and you know, having your private life go slashed on the cover of newspapers and having people have different opinions doesn't make it better or any less than those who go through private pain. So this is a means of saying I connect with you. You know, we are in the struggle together. We go through certain things. You know, it's amazing how the reception. I get emails from people who are currently dealing with, even if it's not a relationship or marriage, it might be
situations.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're doubting yourself, and you know, you don't know what to do. You feel like you're stuck. But having to see that someone who people look out there and think she's such a celebrity and she has a perfect life is going through similar situations somehow gives you some form of hope. You know what I mean?
You know, we're humans, and we have the need to connect, to relate with each other. Basically, I mean, everything that works is connected somewhere. Now, I mean, I've not been able to. I've not laid my hand on the book yet, so I mean, I've not been able to tell exactly what the entire book is all about. Now, but from a few comments and rereading
excerpts, pictures.
Do you think there was too much revelation you made that were meant to be kept private?
I don't think so. The thing with excerpts is it's always a one-sided story. When you see an excerpt of something, a movie trailer, you don't really get the full picture. You think you know, but you really have no idea. So it's so funny how when the excerpt went out and people thought we're Africans and we don't do this, and I thought this is the problem. You know, this is why this book was written, to break that hold of we're Africans, we don't talk about these things, but they're happening. Do you know, and so many people are dying from suffering in silence, you know what I mean? So I'm saying to you, right, so just because we're Africans and because we have the culture and we've been brought up to believe that, you know, you don't talk about certain things, you go through it because you're a woman, and there's so much strength in being silent and going through it, and what if you die? Do you know what I mean? So when you read the entire book, I've had so many people who started from critiquing the book
to actually loving it.
Say, oh my God, I apologize. When you get accepted, you get it's a one-way traffic. But when you read it, you realize that, you know.
Taking a cue from the question Benny asked you, maybe wanting to write some things, you know how you go through something, right?
Yeah.
And you share it with people. There is a support system, you get over this thing and you move on with life.
Yeah.
Now you have documented some of these things that I believe you want to forget.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I think, again, if you have read the book, that question probably, you get it, you know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, there's so many young ladies who are coming up right after us, and you know, so many people I made my mistakes, and I love the fact that I made those mistakes, and I owned up to that in the book, and I'm not perfect.